Mind wandering and daydreaming are perfectly natural. They happen to all of us. But sometimes we can have excessive daydreaming, and that can become a problem. So, if you have faced that problem, then watch this video because here I'm going to explain to you the neuroscience behind sustained attention. So, why does our mind wander? And then I'll also talk about how we can train it to stay with the object to be more focused. For that, we first need to understand the process of directing and sustaining our attention. So let us say you're working on a task for which you need to focus on your spreadsheet, which is there on your laptop. So what do? You first direct your attention to that object. In this case, you direct your attention to that spreadsheet. So the step one, which is directing your attention to an object, this process is voluntary. You are consciously doing it. You can consciously direct your attention to an object. So the step one is conscious, but the step two, which is sustaining that attention, it's an unconscious process. Now, the next question we should ask is, so how does our unconscious brain decide where to keep the attention? How does it decide to stay with the object or to go and pick up some other object or to go to some daydream or some thought? Now, it turns out that this unconscious brain, it looks at different possibilities and it weighs them by importance. So if you're reading, let's say, a book, which is very interesting, let's say you're reading Harry Potter, and it is very absorbing, then your brain is going to, that part of the brain which sustains attention, it is going to give it a lot of weightage. So it will be considered very important. So your brain will most likely say, let's stay with this. But if the book you're reading is very boring, then what happens? Then some other thought or something comes up and your brain considers that as more important, gives it more weightage. So this process of giving weightage to different things, it happens totally subconsciously, and depending on what is given more weightage, your unconscious brain is going to direct attention there. And that is why even when you decide that, okay, I want to focus on this thing, your mind may keep drifting off again and again and again. So that should bring us to the next question. If the brain is going to operate totally unconsciously, then can we influence it? Can we tell our brain to give more weightage to my task at hand and less weightage to other distractions? It turns out we cannot do it directly, but we can do it somewhat indirectly. To understand this, let me give you an analogy. Let us say you're playing a game of darts. Okay, so you have a dart board and you're throwing a dart, you want to hit the bullseye. Now, if you start playing the first time, quite naturally you'll be very bad at that game. So you'll throw and the dart will go to the left, maybe to the right, up, down, all kinds of things will happen. But here's what will happen. So when it goes to the right, then you will tell yourself, okay, let me do it again. This time, let me try a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. So you're going to take those decisions and try again, and gradually you will get better. But how did you get better? You got better because your hand-eye coordination improved and your muscles, the way they contract, all that changed. But remember, you did not determine, okay, my muscles have to contract in this particular manner. All you told your body was a little to the right or a little to the left. So by expressing that conscious intention, a signal went to your body and then your body tried to learn that thing, and over time it got better. So similarly here also, while we cannot influence our unconscious mind directly, we can train it or we can give it gentle nudges again and again to give more weightage to the task at hand. How do we do that? Just like in the dart game, when you say a little to the right, here what you do is when you express a conscious intention, which is focus on this object, a message goes, and gradually over time, your unconscious brain will start giving more weightage to the task at hand. This is something that we do in meditation. So let's take meditation technique called mindfulness of breath. You decide to focus on your breath. What happens? After some time, your mind wanders. And then when you realize, okay, I'm in a daydream right now, what do? You tell yourself, no, not this daydream, let it go. Let's go back to the breath again. So that conscious intention, go back to the breath. That signal goes to your brain, and over time, as you repeat this process again and again and again, your unconscious brain will start giving more weightage to the breath, and your focus will improve, your mind wandering will go down. So this is how you train your brain. Now meditation can actually be a fantastic technique to train your unconscious mind to stay with an object, but you can also do as part of your work itself. So let's say you're working on something, your mind wanders. What do? Don't have to beat yourself up. Just remind yourself, okay, you know what? I need to focus on this task. Bring yourself back. When you bring it back, it's almost equivalent of throwing a mental dart. Now you're sending a signal, and your unconscious brain will give a little more weightage to this task. So the surprising thing here is that if you want to improve your focus, you have to consciously do some kind of focused work, and when your mind drifts off, you have to bring it back and repeat that process hundreds and thousands of times. This is exactly what you do in meditation. So if you want to improve your focus, try both these things. Number one, build the practice of meditation. Specifically, I would recommend mindfulness of breath. And second, do a lot of focused work. Don't get frustrated. Whenever your mind wanders, bring it back and remind yourself you are training your mind the way you're training your body in the game of dart. By expressing that intention again and again and again, gradually your mind will start giving more weightage to the task at hand, and that is how you improve your focus. Yes, it takes time, it takes patience, it's not instant, but this is the only way to do it. Thank you.